Two deafening gunshots cracked through the basement, echoing off the cold concrete walls. In an instant, the men near you collapsed, their lifeless bodies hitting the ground with a heavy thud. Blood pooled around them, the metallic stench filling the air. Your eyes widened, heart hammering in your chest. For a split second, you thought the next bullet might be yours. You squeezed your eyes shut, praying, begging that the gun wouldn't fire again, praying it wouldn't be you, and then, silence. The only sound was the hollow clink of metal hitting the floor, a gun sliding across the ground, followed by a voice, broken and choked, screaming your name, Jungkook, Yin. Your head jerked up, and through the haze of fear, you saw him. His face was pale, twisted with panic as he ran to you. In one swift, almost violent motion, he shoved the corpse of the man away from your trembling body. His hands were trembling as they reached for you, almost afraid to touch you but desperate to pull you out of this nightmare. Jungkook. No, 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 no. Oh God, no. He dropped to his knees in front of you, his breath uneven, chest rising and falling in frantic gasps. The sight before him ripped something open inside, your wrist chained, your mouth stuffed with a filthy cloth, your neck marked with bruises where someone's hands and mouth had been. His heart slammed against his ribs so violently it hurt. You closed your eyes for a moment, tears slipping down as relief washed over you. Nothing worse had happened. You were still alive. The only marks on you were the bruises staining your neck from their filthy mouths, marks that made his blood boil. He tore at the chains with hands that wouldn't stop shaking, cursing under his breath when his fingers fumbled. His jaw clenched, his vision blurred, but he kept going faster, harder, like his life depended on it, because in that moment, it did. Jungkook, don't worry, don't worry. Everything's okay, you're okay. He ripped the gag out of your mouth with shaking fingers, tossing it aside like it burned him. Breathe in, please, breathe for me. Your first gulp of air made his eyes sting with tears. He cupped your face, brushing your damp hair back, checking, searching for injuries like if he blinked, you'd vanish. He scooped you into his arms without another second wasted. Your body felt too light, too fragile in his hold. He held you so tightly against his chest, like if he loosened his grip even a little, you'd slip away. His legs moved on their own, carrying you out of that cursed basement, away from the smell of gunpowder and death. But inside, Jungkook was breaking. Every step he took, his mind screamed at him, "It's my fault. I brought her here. I put her in this hell." His chest tightened, guilt slicing through him like knives. He hated himself for letting this happen, for being drunk and careless, for not being there a moment sooner. The image of you tied up, helpless, would haunt him forever. He had seen blood, death, and violence his entire life, but seeing something like that, seeing you suffer because of him, was worse than any scar on his body. Jungkook carried you with care, his arms tightening protectively around your trembling body as he gently set you on the bathroom counter. His hands wouldn't stay still, one moment brushing your hair from your face, the next running over your arms, your shoulders, your sides, checking again and again if there were more bruises, more wounds he had missed. His chest rose and fell too quickly, his eyes burning with something that was not just anger but guilt deep. His fingers pressed to your back, rubbing small circles as if that would calm the shivers running through you. Jungkook, I killed them, Yin, he whispered. They're gone. They'll never touch you again. He held your face in both his hands, thumbs sweeping away the tears that refused to stop. His voice dropped lower, softer, almost pleading. Everything's okay now. You're safe. But your tears only kept falling. He turned on the tap, the sound of rushing water filling the bathroom, and soaked a towel under the stream. He wrung it out quickly, then brought it back to you. His movements were careful, almost trembling as he pressed the cloth to your bruised neck. The sting because of the wet towel should have made you gasp, should have made you flinch, but you didn't move at all. Your stillness broke something in him. Jungkook, say something, sweetheart, please. His tone cracked, desperation bleeding through. Tell me you're okay. Tell me you can hear me. But you sat there, hollow and silent, his jaw tightened, his throat bobbing as he forced words out. I'm so sorry, Yin. It's all because of me. His hand slid up to cup your cheek again. I swore to myself, I'd never let you suffer like that. And still, his voice broke. He couldn't finish. He forced himself to stay upright though every part of him wanted to collapse. His legs shook, his hands curled into fists at his sides, and images kept flashing through his head. Your terrified face, the ropes cutting into your wrists, those two men leaning over you, Even though you came from the family he despised with every atom of his being, that hatred fell away the moment he saw you hurt. You did not deserve any of it. No girl deserved to be treated like that. You lifted your trembling hand, pointing to your bruised neck. Yin, it hurts? Bring ointment, please. He nodded instantly, almost too fast. Jungkook, yes, I'll bring it right now. He pressed a shaky kiss to your forehead without thinking, then spun and dashed out of the bathroom. The moment he disappeared, your heart screamed at you to move. Your legs shook as you slid down from the counter, almost stumbling on the tile floor. You dragged yourself to the bathroom door, your fingers trembling violently as you gripped the lock. With a shaky twist, you turned it, locking yourself inside. Jungkook returned just in time to hear it. His heart jumped into his throat. Jungkook, Yin. His voice carried panic, disbelief. No, don't lock the door. I've got the ointment. Look, I'll treat you. Please open the door. You pressed your back against the door, your body sliding down until you sat on the cold floor. You buried your face in your knees, your chest shuddering with sobs. Yin, just kill me already. The scream ripped from your throat, echoing through the walls. Jungkook froze on the other side. His heart stopped, his blood iced. He slammed his palm against the door, his forehead leaning against it. Jungkook, no, don't say that, Yin. I'm begging you. His voice cracked, pleading in its desperation. Jungkook, you don't deserve this. I know I was cruel. I know I hurt you. But please open the door. You shook your head violently, sobbing harder. The memory of the basement replayed in your mind like a nightmare you couldn't escape. To you, it was cruel. How he could lock you in that hell and now stand outside, speaking as if nothing happened. Jungkook dragged his fingers into his hair, tugging until his scalp burned. His chest burned with anger at himself. His mind screamed with memories he was forcing down, memories of nights he had vowed never to relive. His pulse hammered against his temples, and panic seized him fully. He couldn't stand here. He couldn't just wait. He bolted out of the hall, shouting for help. A caretaker came running, startled by the fear in his voice. Jungkook, bring Mrs. Han, now. Moments later, the head maid hurried in. She had seen Jungkook in rage, in violence, in blood, but never like this. He was pacing the hallway in front of the bathroom, his fists clenched so tightly his knuckles turned white. What happened? Jungkook, what's wrong? She asked, alarmed. He turned to her, his chest rising and falling like he couldn't breathe. Jungkook, please, help her. She won't open the door. His voice broke, trembling. My men, they tried to. His throat locked, the rest of the words refusing to come out. But Mrs. Han understood. Her lips parted in shock, her eyes widening as the truth settled. It's okay, she said quickly. I'll talk to her. I'll handle it. She started toward the door, but then stopped. She glanced at him, reading his expression clearly. Young master, if you stay here, she won't open the door. I request you to please leave. His eyes widened. He shook his head instantly. No, I can't leave. She's hurt. Please leave. Mrs. Han pressed firmly. If you want her trust, if you want her calm, you cannot be here. He looked at the door, his whole body trembling, his jaw quivered, his throat dry. He wanted to scream, to break the lock, to throw the door open and hold you until you stopped shaking. But his gut told him she was right. His eyes lowered, his chest heavy as stone. Slowly, painfully, he nodded. Jungkook, please help her. It's my fault. All of this is my fault. Don't worry, she assured him. I will. He swallowed hard, his eyes glued to the bathroom door one last time. Before finally stepping back, he turned and walked away, every step tearing him apart inside, leaving him hollow. She hurried toward the door, then gave a soft knock, not harsh, not threatening, just gentle. He's gone, Yin. Please open the door. Your eyes widened. After so long hearing only his voice, harsh and heavy, this delicate tone struck your heart. It sounded like a mother you never knew, calling you softly, patiently. Your fingers twitched on your lap, but your heart screamed not to trust. The knock came again, followed by her quiet plea. I'll hear you. I'll listen to you, and I'll help you as much as I can. Yin, open the door, please. Your throat tightened. The sincerity in her voice made something inside you break. With trembling legs, you pushed yourself up. Slowly, your hand reached the lock and turned it, but only halfway. The door creaked open just enough for your eye to peek through. You searched the room, desperate to make sure no one else was hiding there. And when you saw her alone, a woman with kind, wrinkled eyes waiting patiently, you finally let the door swing open. She smiled at you, a tired but gentle smile. Her lined face reminded you of your aunt who once took care of you, and for a second, your walls lowered. "You can trust me," she whispered, stepping closer. Her hand rose carefully, brushing your neck with the lightest touch, almost like a mother soothing a frightened child. "Come here, let me treat you first." Your body hesitated, but your soul longed for comfort. Step by step, you let her guide you back inside. She made you sit on the bed and quickly moved around the room, gathering a first aid kit, a basin of warm water, and folded fresh clothes. When she sat beside you, the bed dipped under her weight. She soaked the towel, wrung it out, and pressed it gently against your skin. Warmth spread where the fabric touched, wiping away the dried blood clinging to you. Blood that wasn't yours, but theirs, the ones who had tried to break you. You stared at the floor, words tumbling out before you could stop them. "Yin, I want to go home. It's suffocating here. Please, do something. I can't stay here like this." Her hands paused mid-motion, the towel pressed against your arm. A heavy sigh escaped her lips, but it wasn't of impatience, it was sorrow. She looked at you, her gaze soft and full of understanding. "I know," she murmured. "It's cruel, isn't it? To suffer when it isn't your fault, to carry fear that doesn't belong to you, to be dragged into pain you never deserved." Tears blurred your vision. You nodded desperately, each word striking deeper because it was exactly what you felt. It was as if she had lived your nightmare, as if she already knew what it was to be broken like this. "Yin, can you save me?" Your voice cracked. "This man, he's a lunatic. Did you see how he acted? He locked me in that basement with his own hands, and then he begged me like nothing had happened. He's torturing me. Since yesterday, he's been asking me about my father, about names of people I've never even heard of. I told him I don't know. I told him again and again, but he won't stop. He's insane." You clutched the edge of the bed as your words spilled, every fear you had swallowed pouring out all at once. Her eyes didn't move from yours as she finally whispered, "Jungkook has become a maniac, Yin. He isn't just cruel, he is sick. He is a psychotic, a severe neuropsychiatric case. His life is tied to alcohol now. He can't breathe without it. The doctors already gave up on him. His chances of healing are almost none. The injury in his brain, the trauma he carries, it twisted him, broke him, turned him into something ruthless." Her words shook the air around you. Her face carried no hatred, only a deep sorrow that made your heart ache against your will. But the fire inside you rose higher. You clenched your fists, your anger slicing through the haze of sympathy. "Yin, but what does that have to do with me?" Your voice cracked, louder than you intended. "Why me? Why am I the one being locked up? Why am I suffering for his sickness, for his trauma? I did nothing to him." Her gaze softened, lines of sadness deepening across her face. She didn't answer your question immediately. Instead, she quietly reached for the clean clothes folded on the bed, holding them out to you with careful hands. "First, change your clothes," she said softly. "You'll feel better, and then, I'll tell you everything I know. I promise, child." You let out a shaky breath, your chest tightening with frustration, but you couldn't deny her. Your skin felt sticky, suffocated in the torn and blood-marked clothes clinging to you. Reluctantly, with trembling hands, you pulled your top over your head. The silence stretched between you, but it broke the second her eyes landed on the tattoo inked across your stomach. At first, her face was blank. Then, something changed. Her hand froze mid-air, her lips pressed into a trembling line, and suddenly her eyes brimmed with tears. But it wasn't sadness alone, it was anger, deep and shaking. She leaned forward, her hand reaching as if on its own, brushing across the ink as if needing to feel it to believe. "Since when?" Her voice trembled. "Since when do you have this?" You froze, your brows furrowing. "Yin, I don't remember," you whispered, biting your lip. "It was in my childhood. I've always had it." Her throat bobbed as she swallowed hard. Quickly, she pushed another soft t-shirt into your hands, urging you to slip it on, but her hands were shaking, and when her fingers brushed your neck to apply the ointment, you could feel the weight of everything she wasn't saying. The silence crushed you. You couldn't hold it anymore. "Yin, I don't have parents," you said suddenly, your voice breaking, desperate. "Can you tell him that? Please? I don't have a father. I don't know the people he's asking about. I tried. God, I tried to tell him, but he's too violent to listen. He doesn't hear me." Your words hit her like a strike to the chest. Slowly, she lifted her eyes to yours. For a long second, she just looked at you, and you could see it, the truth buried in her gaze. Her eyes widened, then softened in pity. Her lips parted like she wanted to speak, but stopped herself. She knew your pain. She knew your confusion. and she knew. You deserved to know why this was happening to you. But how could she say it? How could she open that wound and tell you? I know you are innocent, Yin. You've done nothing wrong, but your family's past, your bloodline, it has tied you to his revenge, to this mess. Her trembling hands pointed to the faint mark on your skin, the one you had always seen but never understood. That mark? It belonged to an empire that doesn't exist anymore. Jungkook's rage destroyed it, wiped it away, and now he hunts the survivors, one by one. You are one of them. Her lips pressed together as though she wanted to stop, but the words forced their way out. I don't even know how you're still alive. He never spares anyone. He never wastes time. Usually, the moment he finds someone, he pulls the trigger. But with you, an entire day has passed. Something is holding him back. Your breath hitched, your chest rising and falling too fast. The room spun slightly as you tried to take in what you just heard. That mark, something you had carried your whole life without meaning, suddenly felt like a curse carved into your skin. Mrs. Han sank down heavily, her hands twisting. In her lap, I have been with Jungkook since the day he was born. Back then, we didn't live in mansions or guarded estates. We lived in a small, ordinary house. We were normal people. His mother kept me close, even though she had so little, because she needed someone by her side while raising her children. Her eyes clouded, her lips trembling. But his father, he was a drunk, an addict. He gambled every coin he had. He borrowed money he could never return. He ruined everything he touched. His wife, Jungkook's mother, she was a gentle woman, too gentle. She wanted to take Jungkook and her sister away from him. She wanted to escape. Mrs. Han's throat closed, and she pressed her fist against her lips to stop the shaking. Do you know, Jungkook's mother had twins? Her sister's name was Lena. Your brows furrowed. A sister. But the way Mrs. Han said it, you understood immediately. She was gone. A shadow of sadness crossed your heart even before Mrs. Han explained further. By the time Jungkook turned 20, he was already earning enough to dream of a better life. He was ready to take his mother and Lena far away from all the filth, to give them peace. Mrs. Han's voice cracked. Her nails dug into her palms as though she was trying to hold herself together. But everything turned upside down. Yin, his father, that cruel man, he had buried the family in debts so deep there was no escape. And to pay them back, her breath broke into sobs, and she covered her mouth with her hand, her shoulders trembling. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she forced the words out. He sold Lena. He sold his own daughter. Your eyes widened in pure horror. You felt like your heart dropped into a dark pit. But Mrs. Han wasn't finished. The pain in her eyes told you there was more cruelty, more tragedy. You almost wanted her to stop, but your chest ached with pity. Lena couldn't even speak. Yin. She was mute, a child of silence, a girl who never hurt anyone, who carried all her pain inside. Her fingers twisted the hem of her dress. You could see the way her throat tightened with every word. That night, she sucked in a breath. Double quotes ... as so many men barged into the house. They weren't strangers. They came with purpose, with rage. They tore through every room, their voices echoing like monsters. They dragged furniture, pulled curtains, opened cupboards, all searching for that poor girl, for Lena. Your stomach clenched as the image took form in your mind. Heavy boots, doors slamming, a young girl hiding in fear. Jungkook, he realized what they wanted. He was devastated when he realized why they had come. He fought Yin. He fought with his bare hands, with everything he had. He was only a boy, but he threw himself in front of her. He screamed. He clawed at them. He bit down when they pushed him away. He didn't care if it meant his death. Her voice grew rough, like the memory was scratching her throat raw. But what could he do? He was armless, powerless. And they had everything. Guns, strength, no mercy. Her eyes glazed, staring into something you couldn't see. One of them got furious. So furious that he pulled the trigger. The shot echoed so loud I thought the walls would fall. But with the mercy of Lord, the bullet just brushed through his head. I almost thought he was gone. You gasped, clutching your blanket tighter. Your heart pounded violently in your chest. Mrs. Han stopped. Her jaw quivered, tears streaming freely now. The silence was unbearable. The weight of her unfinished words clawed at you. Your throat was so dry it hurt to speak. But you forced the whisper out. Yin, they What happened to her? Mrs. Han turned her face toward you. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. She pressed her hand against her chest, and finally, the words broke free. They harassed her. Yin, that mute girl. They humiliated her, tore her apart. While her brother lay bleeding and her mother begged on her knees, she raised her trembling hands, clutching her face as if to hide the memory. They forced Jungkook and his mother to watch, to see every second of her suffering. Do you understand what that means? To be alive and helpless, to witness your soul being ripped apart right in front of you. You felt your stomach twist, your throat burn, the blanket in your hands was damp from your sweat, your grip shaking violently, and me and another maid, we were locked in the storage room. We could hear it all. We could hear Jungkook's desperate screams, his mother's cries, but we couldn't move. We couldn't help. We sat there powerless, listening as they destroyed her. You felt like vomiting. Your vision blurred with tears, but rage stormed inside you. The back of your neck prickled with heat, your whole body trembling with fury. Jungkook loved his sister more than anything in this world. Do you know why? Because she couldn't speak Yin. Because she was never treated right by the world. He became her voice, her shield, her smile. She was his shadow, his reason to breathe. Her eyes fell to your stomach, your mark. Her hand shook as she pointed, not touching you but as if the sight itself burned her. And then they killed her, right in front of him. And the men who did it, Yin, every single one of them carried that mark, the exact mark carved into your skin. You were frozen in place, your body rigid, your mind refusing to process what you had just heard. Every word Mrs. Han spoke sank like stones into your chest, dragging your thoughts into darkness. You couldn't move, you couldn't think, it felt like your entire world had stopped. And then, another Jungkook was born, a man consumed by pain and rage, a merciless force. He became ruthless, leaving no one alive with this mark. After that, his mother passed away, and he lost contact with his father who later died too. Mrs. Han's hand rested gently on your knees. Her eyes met yours. Yin, I know it's not your fault. You've done nothing wrong. But Jungkook, he's too far gone. His pain, his rage, it's drowning him. He refuses therapy, refuses medicine, refuses help. Doctors, they've given up. And the bullet which brushed his head, it's changing him. He's not the same man he could have been. He's becoming a psychopath. You couldn't imagine what it must have taken to turn a person so completely into something this dangerous. She continued, her voice barely above a whisper. But seeing you like this, it's awakening something in him. For the first time in so long, he's gentle, desperate. You blinked rapidly, your mind trying to hold on to her words, but your heart was still hammering against your chest. Mrs. Han rose to her feet slowly, carefully, after cleaning your injuries. No brother would want to see his sister suffer like this, she said softly, her voice breaking. No mother would ever wish to watch her child go through this, but I will do everything I can. I'll make him understand. You're innocent. You have done nothing. None of this is your fault, Yin. You shouldn't have to suffer. She knelt again, brushing the tears from your cheeks, her fingers gentle as though she wanted to erase the memory of every horrible moment. I'll bring you food, eat, sleep. Just try to forget what happened tonight. Rest your mind and body. You need it, Yin, please. With that, she left the room, the soft click of the door echoing in the silence. You curled up under the blanket, your body trembling, your stomach twisting with disgust and sorrow. You felt sick, not just physically. Your soul recoiled at the truth. You belonged to a family capable of such cruelty, a family that had allowed an innocent life like yours to be caught in the chaos of revenge. The thought made your stomach churn, made your throat burn. You wanted to vomit. You felt hollow, shattered, and more alone than you had ever felt in your life. The room was quiet, but your mind screamed. Every memory, every word, every piece of this new truth weighed heavily on you. And yet, for the first time, you understood the full depth of the danger you were in, and the darkness of the man whose name you now knew, Jungkook.